Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the Nathan's Numbers YouTube channel. Today we'll be looking at standard form, which is something that crops up every so often in GCSE maths. It is something that you do need to know and be aware of though. So standard form is when something is written in the form a times 10 to the power of n, where n is an integer, a is an integer. So I guess a good way to explain it is, for example, if I've got 1 times 10, obviously that's 10, isn't it? And that's to the power of 1, because anything to the power of 1 is just a normal number. So if I've got 1 times 10 to the power of 2, I've got 1 times 10 squared. 10 squared is 100, so I've got 1 times 100, which is 100. Okay? So a good way to explain part of it as well, an important thing that you'll need to know when you're writing numbers in standard form, because you'll get questions which ask you to write numbers in standard form, is that it needs to be within the range of 1, which is less than or equal to a, which is this integer here, which is less than 10. This means that you can have any number in between this stuff here. Obviously, from our first lesson, I think it was, we know that's less than or equal to, and that's just less than. So you could have 1 times 10 to the power of n, that's fine because it's less than or equal to, but you can't have 10 times 10 to the power of n because 10 is not in the range because it's not equal to. If that was equal to, then you could, but as it's not, you can't have 10. And it's always times 10, that's important to know, to the power of n. And that n is, it can be any number really, so it could be 1, 2, 3. However, it can also go the other way and be minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. Okay, so for example, if I've got the number 3.4 times 10 to the power of 2, I've got 3.4 times 100, which is 340. Now, if I've got 3.4 times 10 to the power of 5, I've then got that number. Okay, so that's just how that works. You sort of add these zeros on as you go. And I guess the way you can look at it when you've got a positive integer for here is that you've got the stuff behind the decimal. So if I've got 3 times 10 to the power of 5, I'm going to have 5 zeros there, right? So I've got 300,000. If I've got 3 times 10 to the 5, I've got 5 things behind the decimal point. I guess it's a good way of looking at it. So here, I don't have 5 zeros, but I do have 5 values behind that decimal point, which that decimal point is here. So if I have another example of, let's say I've got 4.2357 times 10 to the power of 5. Remember, I've got 5 things behind the decimal point, so 5 little bits, so 5 numbers. So pause the video and have a go at writing that in its ordinary form. So if you wrote 42357 and then chucked another 0 on there, you'd be absolutely right. And that is 4.2357 times 10 to the power of 5. Now, there's another way that it goes as well. It does go the other way. So you'll have a number to the minus power. So let's say I've got 0.0001. That's going to give me a minus integer for n when I write that in standard form. So if I'm writing that in standard form, I'm going to have 1 times 10 to the power of, and now we count how many decimal places it takes us to get to the first number. So I've got, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. So I've got 1 times 10 to the minus 4. And that's how we work that out. So if I've got 2 times 10 to the minus 4, I'm going to have 0.0002 in the same sort of way. And you can apply that to any sort of number, really. Any sort of number you can apply that to, and that's how it would work. So I hope that was a good little sort of recap of standard form. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.